Hi guys, time to finish our PL-300 turntable restoration. In the first video we spent a lot of time taking the turntable apart to get access to the buttons and clean the buttons and also the speed indicator, and we had pretty good success. The buttons are in working order again and they are also looking pretty good. Now it's time to take care of the rest. One rather minor issue is certainly the dust cover that just needs a good cleaning, but what will certainly take a lot of time, that is to get the platter in a good condition. But let's get started with the dust cover. First let's remove the hinges. The hinges are a bit rusty and we need to give them a bit of a clean with WD-40 later. That looks already completely different. That came out pretty nice, and all it took was a bit detergent and water. And now it's time to give the hinges also some attention. Alright, they do look surprisingly good again. Getting the platter back into good shape will take a lot more time. On the back side you can see the reflective surfaces that are used together with the red LEDs to create a stroboscopic effect to indicate whether the turntable is spinning at the correct speed or not. The problem is the edge of the platter, which is oxidized, and we need to get the white stuff of it to have it nice and shiny again. So we just take some metal polish and start to polish the ring. That's some hard labor that will be necessary to get that back into good shape. It took me a long time, but the result is pretty good. The platter finally looks almost as good as new. In the meantime, I also gave the turntable case a good clean. We are getting close to be done. What still needs some attention is the tonearm. The weight has some light rust as well as the arm itself. To get the rust off, I will use some Never Dull. The weight looks really awesome, all the rust is gone. Now it's time to take care of the arm. This is the final touch and the turntable looks really great. I dug up the original flyer for the PL-300 and I thought we have a short history lesson before we start testing the turntable and have a look at the features and what was special about the PL-300, well, at least for its manufacturer Pioneer and for that particular time. And I also did a bit of research on the web and it seems that the PL-300 hit the market in the year 1979. That means we are looking here at a 37 years old device. The general consensus on the web seems to be that the PL-300 is an okay turntable, but nothing really outstanding. What was called out on the web was the motor, and that's what Pioneer back then was particularly proud of. So the top of the flyer says, smooth auto return, shut off and world's thinnest motor. And this is how it was pictured on the flyer. What I found interesting is that there is a single adapter visible in that picture, but there is actually no facility on the player to hold a single adapter in place. Maybe it was just placed there and that's how the picture was taken. On the backside of the flyer, Pioneer talks about the motor. They write, in systems with a main bearing or pivot point below the whole rotating structure, even the tiniest tipping of the axis of shaft and spindle is magnified to result in a slanting or wobbling of the bladder. They got a good point here, so you definitely don't want to have any play in the spindle, And another thing that is really important is that you have accurate speed. The next paragraph talks about the fact that it is quartz locked. That means there is no manual adjustment necessary. The speed indicator, or how they call it, the one stripe strobe, is just there to give the confirmation for speed accuracy. The PL-300 has no start button. It's half automatic. Pioneer praised it as a feature and called it quick start. Interesting. Another great feature is its suspension, but that is no longer true for our PL-300 here. Gravity took its toll on the springs supporting the case, but the suspension for platter and tonearm are still fine. On the bottom of the page is a small graphic that gives you an idea about the motor construction. But that's enough history lesson. Let's test the record player and play some records. Time to move my trusted neck turntable and put the PL-300 for now in its place. But before we can get going, there are a few things to check and to do. So we had the whole tone arm apart. The most important thing is that we have the correct weight at the needle. To ensure that, we need to adjust the counterweight on the other end of the tone arm. So there's a scale on the weight that tells us how many grams of weight we are putting on the needle. But the thing is that we haven't found our neutral position yet. So the first thing what we need to do is we need to twist the back of the weight. This is a black part you can see in the picture, to a point where the tone arm is floating, where basically the weight on the needle is 0 gram. Once that point is found, I need to hold the back part of the weight and twist the front part with the scale on it to 0. So that is the neutral point. Now every time we twist the back part of the weight, we can read from the scale how much weight we put onto the arm. I have put it now to 1.7 gram, and I want to confirm that with this little tone arm scale. And that's how it works. You just put the needle onto the little scale. So I'm putting that now to 1.5, and you can see that there's a bit more weight on the needle than 1.5. And when I start to move it towards a 1.7, you can see that the scale is floating, and so that is the correct weight. Perfect. We also need to put the anti-skate dial onto exactly the same, 1.7. While I'm at it, I thought I also want to check the cartridge alignment with this cartridge alignment tool, but I did not expect any surprises, as this is still the factory installed cartridge and they're supposed to do a good job. After checking it, I basically confirmed that everything is fine. It's good enough. And finally, we play a record, and the turntable sounds really good. And this is the end of a successful turntable restoration. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe.